So a lot of people have been asking me random questions, so today I decided to shoot a YouTube video answering some of these questions from my social media followers. This one says, how do you make your sniper entry? Please, a sneak peek of your strategy. Right. So basically, understanding my strategy and what it is about is just trying to understand swing points in the market, right? So I basically am a trader that I catch swing moves in the market, and then swing moves. A swing trader is anybody that catches the market and then holds position for 3 or 4 or more days, right? So I am a kind of a trader that trades on a weekly perspective. So if I find a position on a single trade, I am anticipating the overall directional movement of that currency in a week, right? So I wouldn't be buying GBP USD today and then tomorrow you see me selling it. Usually I look for the overall directional movement of that currency and then I trade it for the whole week. You understand me? So my strategy comprises looking out for specifically tops and bottoms of a swing point and then catching the market, and then that tops and bottom of a swing point could be the insemination of the overall directional movement, which is the long-term trend in the market. So it's as simple as that. What advice would you give a break-even trader to start being consistently profitable? Risk to reward is everything, right? So the person asking about break-even trader, then it means that honestly you're not following a proper risk to reward in the market. Anybody that really follows the risk to reward wouldn't necessarily be a break-even trader. If you have setups that really looks out for even 1:3, or even if it is a 1:2 risk to reward, then trust me, you're not going to be a break-even trader, because if you lose a trade, let's say usually your stop losses in pips is 40 pips, and then you're always looking to make 80 pips, right? So if you lose 2-3 trades, you're losing 40 pips each, and then if you're winning even 3 trades at the same time, you're winning 80 pips and more. So at the end of the day, you're not going to be a break-even trader. So check out your risk to reward properly. Somebody says, do you use supply and demand in trading? Yes, I use supply and demand, and I use other concepts as well. You know, in trading, you cannot really be related to just one concept, as in I'm only a trendline trader, or I'm only a supply and demand trader, or I'm only a Fibonacci trader, right? I really believe that to be successful in this industry, you need to use confluence of concepts, right? So I am a trader that combines Fibonacci, trendline, top-down analysis, market demand and supply zones, and then candlestick reversal patterns. So it's a little bit in-depth coming into the kind of strategy that I use, but I'm not one-sided where I just look at trend line. I know a lot of people that trade with just channels. They draw channels ups and down, and that's the only thing they want to be trading with. I'm not that kind of a trader. I use a lot of information, confluence of information, and then what I call cross-referencing and correlation. So somebody's asking, how do you get into Forex trade? I think that is something I shared in my first YouTube video. So if you go on YouTube and you search KOJOFOREX, how I get started in Forex trading, that should answer your question about how I got started in Forex trading. Somebody says, I do amazing in demo, but can't be profitable with real money. What psychological things do I need to be profitable? It's all up in your head, right? It's all up in your head, trust me. Just stop trading demo. Just close that demo, delete that demo account, and then trade. And then the only reason why you cannot trade properly when you're using a real money is when you're putting too much weight than you can assume, right? Trust me, if you have, let's say, even a $500 account, start taking a trade in lot sizes of 0.05 and then see how comfortable you'd be allowing your trade to run. But if you stack up 0.5 on a $500 account, trust me, then you'd be in a hot seat if the trade is going against your positions. You understand me? So my advice for a newbie is just basically to just keep up with the hustle. You know, don't give up. Just continue with it. Trading is a marathon. It's not a sprint. So if you're a beginner and then you just got interested in Forex trading, you're not looking to become a millionaire overnight. It takes time. It takes struggle. It takes a lot of years to do that, right? make a video starting trade as a newbie. Think about that. What is the best time frame to enter a trade? This is a really relative question to ask. What is the best time frame? So there is actually nothing like what is the best time frame, right? But there is a recommended time frame for any kind of a trader that you are. So if you are a scalper, then obviously you would really be looking into the 1 minute, 5 minute time frame. If you're a day trader, 15 minute, 30 minute, 1 hour is good. But if you're a swing trader, you should be looking into the 4 hour daily and weekly time frame, right? And it doesn't matter what kind of time frame you're taking an entry on. What matters is that where are you putting your stop loss? How do you test waters before you jump in a trade? So how I go by testing waters before I jump in a trade is that I'll usually put on a very little lot size, right, and see how the market reacts to that before I jump in with my appropriate lot size that I may be stacking on. So what I mean is that if I have planned on putting on 1 lot or maybe a 5 lot, I'd really start with maybe a 0.1, 0.2, just allow the market to float around that few pips and see how the position is doing. Or if that 0.1, 0.2 is running into maybe 2, 3, 4 pips in profit, and I stack on the rest of the position, because the market is fond of really reversing on you immediately you put on a trade. You understand me? So somebody is asking a simple question. He says, how are you posting profit for NZD card when it hits stop loss? So usually people don't understand that every broker has got how they charge their spread in the market, right? If you're using a broker that has got really wide spread and then you're taking trades from other people, you're using somebody who's a professional's expert advice on the market, you should be smart enough to broaden your stop loss level from where the person put your stop loss because of what brokerage difference in spreads, right? So I still have NZD card running that this person is saying they hit stop loss. The only difference for that is because their broker is probably charging 10 pips in as a spread charge, while my broker is charging half a pip. You get it? Do you use COT? No, I do not use that. What is your favorite trading pair? My favorite trading pair is actually GBP USD because I traded that pair alone for about 1 year. What advice do you say to scalpers? Well, scalping is like a short-term career to me. So if you're scalping in the market, you basically have a short lifespan in the market. I mean, it's a good endeavor to be a scalper looking into making quick bucks, but know that your consistency or your long-term in this industry is quite limited as to a day trader or swing trader. What are your confirmation checklist? So I am a kind of a trader that waits for the market to get into my zones and then my ranges before I take a trade. It is very uncommon to find my kind of a trading style anywhere on the internet these days, right? Because most people are using indicators and then they are basically waiting for the indicators to give them an as the name suggests, an indication of where to enter the market, right? But I anticipate the market moves and then wait for those setups to come to me before I execute. So I have a certain rules or standards that I follow, which has to do with the fact that if the market hasn't done exactly what I expect it to do and then come into my zones where I'm anticipating, then I basically avoid those trades. So once the market is in my range, then it basically has me looking at price action to make my confirmation for an entry. That is what sniper trading is actually about, shooting from a range where you've already anticipated. It takes a skill set. It takes somebody that really understands how the market moves to be able to catch that kind of moves. Can you explain how you use your institutional levels and you know where to place it? Well, you must understand that the Forex market is not a random market where like things are just moving up and down like that. These are big players. I mean, there are big players really involved in the Forex market, right? And these big players trade around key zones, key levels where they know they're going to fill in their orders and then exchanging currency. They do not exchange currencies at random exchange rates, right? It's just like you're walking into the Forex bureau and then you expect them to give you random exchange rates. The Forex bureau always come up with a specific rate in which they're going to exchanging currencies for you, the customer. It's the same way the big banks and institutions also have key zones, key levels, key price points in which they're waiting for price to dip into before they execute their transactions. So if you think about it in that psychological space, then you come to understand how my key levels work in the market. But that isn't the only thing I look out for. That is a part of the confluence. Somebody says, Kojo, how do you determine the pairs you're going to concentrate on before the week begins? Right. So I have a checklist or a watch list of trades that I basically focus on, right? So I have created about 30 watch list, right? It contains all the GBP pairs, USD pairs, Aussie pairs, and New Zealand pairs, and then some cross-referencing and then indicating pairs, right? So I have a watch list of all these trades, and then I skim through them every single weekend to see which level they've got to, and then my anticipated projection of their future movement, and then I wait throughout the week to see how they build up.